Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? This is Travis P11. Welcome to Caliber Corner, episode number 213, season 4, if I'm not mistaken. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Once again, this is Caliber Corner. I want to thank you for joining in today. It is super duper early. As you can see, I don't have a panel joining me because they are fast asleep right now, except for Gizzard Gary, who's out there right now chilling. We got a good episode for you today. I think it's going to be a fun one. I might have some members of the panel join in as we go on. This is not my usual time. I do have a regular job and I've got a work obligation that's going to be kicking in about 2.5 hours. And so I've got some stuff I need to do online. So I got to go. But in the meantime, we can have a little discussion about holsters. I went through the closet and went through my box of holsters like most gun people have. And I'm going to bring some to you, some of the good holsters that I have and maybe some of the not so good holsters that I have. We're going to talk about all the different options inside the waistband, outside the waistband. Just kind of take a glance at some of the major brands that are out there and see what they have to offer. First things first, I'm not being sponsored by any one particular holster company at all. I do have companies that send me holsters to test on the channel, Klinger holsters, Harry's holsters, all these. I've tried many of them, and there's a few brands I haven't tried yet. And it seems like with holsters, you seem to find one brand that you're happy with, and then after that, you just go with it, and then you don't really ever look around. But we're going to give you some neat alternatives, too, that you might not be thinking of. So before we do that, let's give a little shout out to people that are watching on the YouTube side. And then I've got some announcements I need to make, some housekeeping items to go through. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we've got New York Outcast out there. Good morning, New York Outcast. How you doing, sir? I'm still waking up. I'm going to be a little bit mumbly this morning, but you'll get used to it. Scott79's out there. Gizzard Gary's out there. Chiming in at 4:40 this morning, M. Gabriel was also out there too. And I think he's pretty excited for this show. So there we go. Today's sponsors for the show, we've got SS Pawn located in Lexington, Nebraska. To get to SS Pawn, it's really simple. You take the exit into Lexington, Nebraska, which is about halfway across the state on Interstate 80. SS Pawn is just off to the right. Stop in there, say hello to Stan, and SS Pawn will take care of your firearms needs. You better hurry up because Stan is going to be retiring, and January 1st, that's when things are going to stop. So you guys got to make sure that you head out there right now while you still can. Also, behind me, not sponsored by me, but donated to the channel, is an rnldisplays.com AR-15 gun stand. I was just checking out the website today. I'm going to be ordering a pistol stand pretty soon. So they've got pistol stands. They've got AR-15 stands. They also have a special stand for the M&P 22, so make sure you check that out. And then they also have a PCC stand. So if your pistol caliber carbine takes Glock magazines, they've got a stand made just for you. So go over there and check it out. That's rnldisplays.com. And I'll put the website up here. Let's go ahead and do that right now. There we go. And that's New York Outcast is out there. If you guys have questions about those stands, go ahead and direct them over to New York Outcast out there because he can answer them for you. That is his company. Okay, veteran-owned, American-made, and you cannot go wrong. I did some decorating for the holidays. I'm done. I got my stocking up. Hopefully, I can fill it up with lots of goodies. Maybe a couple overpriced boxes of 9mm. We'll see what we can do. What else do we need to mention here? I'm doing a little collaboration with Artisan Tony. If you guys have never checked out his channel before, he's been around for a long time. He's one of the OGs of the GunTube industry, GunTube world. Okay, he's a really, really cool guy. Got a great channel. So head over to Artisan Tony's, and he made an announcement about a giveaway that he's doing. And in order to qualify for that giveaway, you got to come back to my channel and watch my review of the Mantis Laser Academy Training Kit. Now, Mantis did not send it to me for free. They sent one to Tony to test out. Tony decided that he would like to have somebody do the review. And so he contacted me and I did it. I had a great time with it. It's a lot of fun. I keep it around. It works really well. And check out my review. And in that video, there's an Easter egg. And if you point out the peculiar item that's in that video, you'll be entered into the drawing. Now, if you just comment on the video, I believe you will also be entered into the drawing. You don't have to notice the item because maybe you can't see it or can't find it. And that's fine. You can still enter just by leaving a comment on that video. Do check it out. And I think you guys are going to like it. What do we got there? So Gizzard Gary's making a comment. He goes, now this guy has an AR on his stand, unlike that slacker Gizzard Gary. Gizzard Gary, you got to get one of those ARs on your stand, buddy. Yeah, so today, like I said, we're going early. And so, you know, the topic of holsters, it's a difficult subject to approach because everybody seems to find what works best for them, and then they just go with it. So what we'll do is kind of give you some basic suggestions for what you should think about before you even get that holster, and then some kind of things to remember. And then after that, we'll just kind of take a look at some of the brands. I'll show off some of the models that I have. I've got like 8 or 9 of them sitting around here. And there are some types that I just simply don't use. And like certain hybrid styles and whatever. And there's nothing wrong with those. It's just like a lot of people, I find what works best for me, and then I just go with it. You know, that's what I tend to do. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So where do you start when it comes to getting a holster? So one thing you need to take into consideration, and this is something I just ran into last spring, are there holsters available for the gun that you're about to buy? Especially if you buy into a new model, maybe you're buying from a brand that's not very well known, there's a possibility that you're not going to have a lot of holster options for you. Now, case in point, I've got a Walther PDP with a 5-inch barrel, full-size model. I bought it with the intention of keeping it as a bedside gun, and that's where it sits. I've got a light on it. I love it. It's great. But if I want to carry it anywhere, I went online looking for holsters. Well, there's holsters for the 4-inch model, for the 4.5-inch model. But if you got the 5-inch model, you've only got a couple options. One of them runs like $80, and I can't even remember who makes it. And so then I just hunted around a little bit, and I found one other option. And so I've got a nice outside the waistband Kydex holster. This was $25 on eBay. And this is made by a little mom and pop shop, I think maybe down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. They did a great job on it. They round off the edges. I paid for this out of pocket. It's an outside the waistband model, and it's designed for IDPA. But it's a holster I can use when I take this to the range. So this isn't a holster that I'm going to, or not a pistol I'm going to conceal carry. So I was okay with the fact that I had the outside the waistband option. It's got nice, sturdy hardware on it. So a little mom and pop company that really doesn't even advertise online anywhere. I just found this over on eBay. I did a search for it. It was one of the few made to fit holsters that was actually for that gun. So I bought it because a lot of the other big companies don't even make a holster for that gun yet. Now you might get a holster with the gun that you purchase. And the truth is a lot of the times it's not even going to be Kydex. It's going to be something like this, which is a injection molded plastic, which doesn't look much different from Kydex, but they tend to be bulkier. They also don't give you that overall grip and retention that Kydex does. These are kind of injection molded, so they sort of fit your gun. They fit enough to keep it safe, but not enough to prevent it from kind of jiggling around and so on. So these injection molded holsters, these are usually on like the low end of the price point. Like I got this one off Amazon for my P365 for 10 bucks. The only reason why I bought it is because I was getting the gun that day. I wanted to start carrying it as soon as possible. Ordered on Amazon, had it 2 days later, and it was all set. Now, it's not my favorite holster. In fact, I've already replaced it with a better Kydex holster. But these injection molded holsters, they'll get you by, but they're maybe not the best option. They work, but they're okay. And a lot of companies, a lot of factories, a lot of gun companies, when they offer a holster for your gun, if they're not in collaboration with another, main holster company, they have them outsourced and made, and they all tend to be this injection molded style versus a nice Kydex holster that's got that texture on it that's going to be molded to fit. That's going to give you the perfect retention, right? So that's one thing to consider before you buy the gun. When I bought my first carry gun, it was an FN9 compact. The model had just come out. I was getting ready to carry it, and guess what? There were no holsters available for it. Nobody made a holster for it except for one company. So I went on to eBay and I typed in the model of the pistol, and Klinger Holsters just happened to offer a holster for it. They were the only company. FN didn't even have a holster for it. Now, I could have got a universal holster that would probably work, maybe get something nylon or whatever, but I wanted a nice Kydex holster so I could start to carry the firearm. And so if you look around, like I said, on eBay, now Klinger Holsters is not a small company. They're a big company. But back then, a couple of years ago, that was my only option. And it was right-hand draw only, which is what I am. But again, if you're left-handed, you might have even less of a selection. So keep that in mind before you drop $500, $600, $700 on a firearm, maybe $1,000 that you want to carry. Do you have any kind of holster options out there? Do look around a little bit. The first thing when you go to these websites and start looking for a holster, one thing you should do is sign up for their discounts. Like a lot of the times, these were anywhere between 10 and 20% off discounts on all these websites I went to right at the start. And, I X'd out of the box because I'm not looking for a holster right now. But get the discount code, especially if you want something and you want to order something. You can always unsubscribe from the emails later. I know it's annoying. We get a ton of junk mail. I do too. But use the discount codes because those will come in very, very handy. Some of these companies, like they have packages that are $250, like I'm going to show you. They have like 3 holster combo packs you can buy. You save 20% on that. You could save a pretty good chunk off of it. I can't even do the math this morning. It's such a big number. I can't even calculate it. 40 bucks maybe? I have no clue. So anyway, we'll talk about that also when we get there. So discount codes are a big one. Make sure you check out eBay, check out Amazon if you can't find a holster anywhere. Also, don't be afraid to kind of shop around. If there's a local like leather company that makes holsters, maybe contract them to make one for you. I know Mike over at MK Outdoor Journal, he does holster work, or he's in the process of getting set up for that. So you can get a hold of MK over at, I think it's mkoutdoorjournal.com. So look around. There might be small shops that can do some good work for you. And, if you get quoted a price of like $80 or $100, newsflash, custom made leather holsters, even online, they're not cheap. So you're not going to get by for like 10 or 20 bucks. You're going to have to spend some money on it. But a nice quality leather holster could last you the lifetime of the firearm. So keep that in mind. The other thing too is the return policy for the holster. Most of these companies give you like a 30-day money-back guarantee. You might sometimes have to pay a restocking fee, so just keep that in mind. So if they have like 10 or 15% restocking fee, or you can't return it after 30 days, because you might get that holster and it just might not work for you. There might be something about it that you don't like. Sometimes there's little quirks out there that happen with the holster, and it's like, ooh, I don't like this or I don't like that. And then you go to return it, and it's been 5 or 6 weeks and you can't, and then you're out $75 or $80. So know the return policy for the company. Keep all the packaging, keep all the little bits and pieces, because sometimes they send you extra hardware, and you don't want to lose that, especially if that's part of the return process. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So very, very important, return policy. A couple things you want to look for in a holster when you buy one are things such as the adjustable cant angle. Now, this is all basic beginner stuff. Most of you guys that are gun people probably already know this, but if you're looking, not every holster offers this. So you got what's called cant and right height adjustments. So this one offers a little bit of that. What the cant angle is the angle of the bracket when you're wearing it. You might want something a little more aggressive. You might want something a little more neutral, depending on where you carry, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever works for you. You might want that adjustable angle so you can keep the gun upright or keep it off to the side. Also, ride height. Do you want it to ride a little bit lower so it's easier to carry, or do you want it riding a little bit higher so you can draw a little bit faster? So ride height adjustment and cant adjustment are two very important things. And Clear Holsters offers that on their holsters. Again, I'm not endorsed by any one of these companies. I'm just talking about my experience with these companies. Okay, so do chime in on the chat and let me know if you've got a certain brand that you just go by that just works really good for you. Okay. So let's see a few comments out here on the YouTube side. Gizzard Gary says a good holster is worth paying for. That's for sure. No, this is true. This is true. It's definitely a good investment. I even got a couple in my closet I forgot to get out. So Ozzy Osbourne, I forgot to get that one out that you sent me, but I did, I believe, make a video on it to show it off. And if you are curious, any of the reviews on the holsters, go to my channel and check them out. None of those holsters were paid reviews. I got those holsters as samples. I was allowed to keep them, and they've all held up really well. So whatever I say in the video still holds true today. Let's see here. New York Outcast says, I had to drive an hour to find my first carry holster. Yeah, like there's some universals out there that you can get, and I'll show some of those off, and they'll work, but they're not necessarily the best option that's out there. Southpaw RX says, I recently got a Warrior Land holster from Amazon and was very pleased with the fit and finish. Yeah, this one right here is Polecraft is the name of this one. This is for my P365. So I've got this cheap injection molded plastic holster that was $10. This is a Gun and Flower brand is what it says, right? And then there's the Polecraft, and it's just much more compact. The Kydex one's right here. It's not quite as bulky. You can see the difference between the two. And these are made for the same gun. The cuts are just a little bit thinner on this side. There's a little bit less in the way, so it's easier. I'm sorry. This one right here, okay, it's a little bit thicker, but it offers more protection for the back of the firearm also. So you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to these things. Even on the El Cheapos, the hardware seems to hold up okay. I know sometimes you can have screws that strip out and so on. The other thing too, if you get a little $10 holster, they might have, free returns for life or whatever. But unless they're going to pay the return shipping, something like this would cost me a minimum of $12 to send back using UPS. So do know what the return policy is. And when you buy into a super cheap holster, you get what you pay for. And it may be good and it may be bad, right? The other thing, too, is if you're new to concealed carry or just carry in general, carry as often as you can every day, as much as possible, as much as you're allowed to, because you'll get more and more used to having the firearm on you. It's going to feel just like a tool, like a pocket tool or a pocket knife. Eventually, it's just there. You know it's there, but it's not going to bother you anymore. So you'll find that right holster that's going to work best for you. I know when I first got mine, I went through like 2 or 3 different holsters. My FN, eventually I found another company that made one, and I just wasn't happy with it. So I tend to gravitate towards these simple Kydex holsters because I can put them at whatever angle I want. They're easy to put on. They're quick to draw. They're easy to take off. You can move them around if you need to. And they just kind of take up a minimal amount of space. Now, some people like the hybrid style holsters, which is basically like a Kydex front with like a neoprene back or a leather back. And we'll take a look at those here in just a little bit. Let's see, Fluffy 10mm Jeep guys out there. He says, morning all, morning Fluffy. Tommy Guns out there says, morning gentlemen. Hello, hello. I'm going to be doing this a lot this morning, so excuse me on that. New York Outcast says Concealment Express was affordable and works well. I'm still happy with it years later. You can find them on eBay. And yeah, a lot of these companies don't pay for advertising to advertise through Google or advertise online. They just have little mom and pop stores. And if it says made in the USA and they're a small shop and they're highly rated on eBay, buy from that company. I've done this several times and had great luck with it. Like I said, this was a small company that made one $25 Kydex holster. I mean, if this is a Blade Tech, it'd be like 80 bucks. And those little companies, they don't have to pay for the advertising. They don't have to pay for the overhead. And so that's a big part of it too. Let's see here. One thing also, I mean, the ultimate and budget options, and you might have to go this route. Like I know with my Makarov, which again, I forgot to grab, there's one company that I found that makes a fitted Makarov holster for my Makarov pistol. And it actually came from the former Soviet country of Georgia in Europe, and I bought it on eBay and had it sent to me, and it is awesome. But it's the only one I've ever found for it. They don't even make them anymore. And so like you get something like a Milsurf gun, you might have to go this route. Okay, so this is just your traditional leather holster with a flap over the top. You know, these are totally functional. I mean, police around the world are able to carry out their jobs with holsters like this. It offers good weather protection. You know, you've got your belt loops on it. It doesn't give you a lot of adjustability, but it's an option for you. Magazine carriers built in. So the old surplus leather holster is always an option too. So do keep that in mind. For my 1911, I do want to buy a nicer holster for it, but I just bought this one off the eBay. I think I paid $40 for this one delivered. And this offers a little bit of a preset can angle. It's perfect for my 1911. It's an outside the waistband holster. And I haven't used it a whole lot, just a few times, because honestly, I don't take the SR 1911 out that often. It has become my right bedside gun. I've got a left bedside gun and a right bedside gun. And so it doesn't get worn that often. But if it does, I've got a nice little holster for it. But I'd like to get something a little bit nicer. Let's see here. Tommy Gunn says, does every American who carries have an extra size waist belt to accommodate a pistol? LOL. Yeah, you kind of have to. And Tommy Gunn, honestly, if you get like a belt, and belts are a whole nother discussion for a whole nother time, but I have shown off those core belts before. They give you like 4 to 5 inches of slack, and you even are recommended to wear a larger pant size. And it really does depend on your form and your figure. Some people can carry without having to use a larger belt. Some people, they're on the last notch of their belt, so if they carry, they got to have a larger belt. That's just kind of the reality of that extra 3 or 4 inches of space that having something strapped on your hip is going to take up. So just keep that in mind. So I like those core brand belts are really cool. They sent me one to test out. What I liked about it was I was able to snip it off and kind of burn it to trim it to fit. And so I had that extra slack that I needed just to get it exactly how I wanted it. And that was very cool. That was very cool. Oh, Tommy Gunn, you say us Canucks would not know. Tommy, I am so sorry. Okay, yeah, because of the whole no carry policy in Canada. So that makes sense, buddy. All right, I got you. Thank you. I appreciate the comments, man. Whew, man, that's a lot of information to get started with. So let's go ahead and just jump right into showing off some of the options that are out there. This might be kind of a short show today, but I'll go through some of the big brands. I'm sure I'm going to miss a bunch of them, and there's a few that I'm just not going to show. First of all, one of the biggest companies, and when you do any kind of a search for holsters online, one of the first ones that pops up is Alien Gear, and they've been around for quite a while now. I have family that have their holsters. And I do want to apologize if you guys are watching. I won't be able to check the comments for a little while here. But Alien Gear has got a lot of different options there. Now, when you see these prices, if you're new to guns, you're going to be like, oh my God, $100 for a holster. Expect to pay $50 to $120, $115 for a holster, depending on what kind of a setup you go with. All right, so for example, the Shapeshift Core Carry Pack, you get different carry options. You know, you've got different types of retention and attachments and different ways to carry. So they're giving you lots and lots of options. So for $99.88, you get all the hardware with it. And I don't know if Alien Gear still offers this, but at one point, I believe you were able to send your shell in to get a different shell if you replace your gun. And so if you go with a different model and they have the shell available, they can send you the shell to replace it with. They may do that. They may not. Also, ambidextrous. Do they offer ambidextrous options so you can do a left side carry if you want to? It looks like this Alien Gear pack does offer that. I didn't get a chance to read all the details yet. I'm not an Alien Gear customer. I do have 2 family members that have their holsters and they love them. So this is kind of what we call the hybrid style holster. So what it does is it gives you a neoprene backing and or leather backing, which they're very comfortable. They offer you kind of maximum kind of protection from the gun rubbing up against you. And again, you get all those different options for retention and also ride height and cant angle. So they're one of your best options right there. I think that Alien Gear has a pretty good return policy. They've got free shipping on orders over $99, and this system is $99.88. Let's see, free outside the waistband mag carrier with every holster order. That's the other thing too. A lot of these holster companies are offering lots of bonuses right now and perks coming off of Black Friday. Going into the holidays, they're going for that buying dollar. So Alien Gear is one of the companies that offers you lots of different options. Do watch videos on like pros and cons of these holsters, because some people are, endorsed by Alien Gear, or they live and die by it. They're like, diehard Glock fans or Smith & Wesson fans. They'll say nothing bad about the product. Watch for pros and cons for these. I know some people have complained about, screws coming loose and having to use some thread locking compound and things like that. Those things can just be expected, especially when you're dealing with hardware, nuts and bolts, screws, stuff like that. So they've got a bundle deal. They also have one, and I think that maybe it was a 10 or 15% coupon that showed up here on the Alien Gear website when I first went to the website. So, I mean, if I was going to buy some of these bundles, I would be able to save quite a bit of money. Let's go to holsters real quick, and we'll check out the different bundles that these guys have to offer. So they've got a holster mag combo for $76. They've got the belly band and holster bundle for $96, which you wear around your stomach. And again, some people like to carry like that. Down below, they've got a multi-holster assortment you can get. So for like $235, you can get the outdoorsman bundle that gives you the maximum amount of carry options, drop leg, inside the waistband, probably appendix carry, hip carry, and so on. They've got the cloak outdoorsman bundle. So the drop leg holster, I'm not really going to talk about those, but the way I understand it, the intention behind drop leg holsters, if you're wearing body armor, having that holster on your hip is almost impossible if the body armor sits in a certain kind of way. Limits your mobility if your body armor is pressing into your holster on your hip. So the drop leg option came along because of that. A lot of people think it's kind of a Delta Force Commandos kind of thing. And no, that's not really it. It's because of the body armor mobility, having side panels or side packs. If you've got that side holster, it's going to push up into those side plates. So that's kind of where the whole drop leg holster comes into play. But some people just like them because they maximize their mobility when they're out carrying the firearm and so on. So that's a little bit about Alien Gear holsters. Okay, they've got some really good options. So what I'll do after going through every single brand, I'll come back and check the comments. Make sure nobody's waiting in the lobby right now to join in. Let's see here. New York Outcast says, I don't see the point in spending that much when I'm happy with a $30 holster, LOL. I know, man. Case in point, Outcast, $10. Uncle Mike's from Walmart, $15, right? I mean, what's important is that you do carry. I could care less. I'm not going to holster shame you. You wear whatever you want. I mean, like a lot of people, I started off with a Black Hawk holster or an Uncle Mike's holster, and you can laugh me out of here, but they sell them at Walmart and they sell a ton of them. So they're laughing all the way to the bank. So you find what works best for you. And that's actually going to be one thing that you can look forward to. Tommy Gunn says, I hate having a drop leg, always dragging a leg. Yeah, that can be a problem, isn't it? Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy says, Alien Gear customer service is good. I have some of their stuff and it's good. Yeah, I've got family members that have been carrying with Alien Gear for years and they've had no issues with them at all. Fluffy also says, I picked up a new gun at the gun show last Saturday at 220 and 45. Now I'm not a 45 virgin owner anymore. Now I need to find a holster for it. Yeah, with the P220, you should have a lot of options. That gun has been out forever. I mean, I know even like 1990 or sooner. I don't know what year it came out. I tested a P220 many years ago on my channel, and I love it. It's one of the smoothest shooting, most accurate 45 ACPs that are out there. And I am in the market for a new bedside gun. I might have to consider one of those. That way I can put my beautiful, pristine SR 1911 back in its box in the closet. Oh, man. All right, so let's go ahead and check out another brand of holster. Now, some of these brands have sent me testers, and so I'm just talking about them because I have experience with them. So let's go on, and we'll check out another brand, and I'm probably going to mention some brands you've never heard of before. The next one that we have is from Harry's Holsters. So Harry's Holsters is a smaller company. They offer premium concealed carry holsters. They sent me one. I want to say they made a custom holster for my PT-111 G2. And I don't believe they ever actually went on to make holsters for that gun, but it was a great carry option. So for example, here's the Singleton going from $24.99 to $59.95, depending on the options and the model that you go with. They're going to offer you ride height adjustments, maximum cant angle adjustment, metal clips instead of plastic. Here's the other thing too. Yeah, this is something I need to mention. Belt clip size, typically they're 1.5 inches, but if you've got a tall belt, you might have to get a 2-inch belt clip, and a lot of companies don't offer that. At one point, I think Klinger Holsters offered a 1.75-inch or a 2-inch high belt clip. And so if you've got a larger belt and you get that awesome carry holster and then it won't clip under your belt, you're going to have to get a new carry belt. So that's something, or a new clip for the holster if they even offer it. And unfortunately, these things are not always universal because of the spacing of the screws. So Harry's offers the metal option, which you can see right here, which is pretty aggressive, but you also don't have to worry about it breaking. This is the kind of setup that I think would last you a very long time. And again, they do make a really good holster. They also have like wings that you can add for, these are suggested for appendix carry, because some of these holsters will double as an appendix carry if you angle them properly and wear them properly. Some of these can be converted to outside the waistband or right hand or left hand draw, which is really cool. It's nice having some handy options. So let's just pick one for, let's just say Glock 17. Okay. So $59.95 is what you're looking at. I don't have the time to read right now, but we could maybe check and see if it's going to be, yep, it's going to be ambidextrous. You can tell because they offer mounting holes on both sides. So that's a nice option. And I'm trying not to forget you Southpaws out there too. So again, that the Kydex is very well made. It's fixed retention, which is fine. You've got these little metal loops that basically provide the tension that keep the gun in place. Many times you're going to get screws that you can tighten that allow more or less retention so that you have a comfortable draw. Nothing wrong with this. So check out the Singleton from Harry's Holsters, and I think you guys will be pretty happy with that. I really like what they did, and the fact they custom made one for me for the PT-111 G2 was just awesome. And it's been a while since I've talked about Harry's Holsters, but again, they're still around. All right, let's head back to YouTube and see what's going on. Tommy Gunn says, pay more for a Southpaw holster. No, not really. If it's an ambidextrous, you don't have to worry about it. It's a fixed price. Or some of these companies make just straight up a left-hand holster instead of a right. And I've never seen an additional cost on any holster I've ever purchased if you want to go left-hand draw. Because when I would research these holsters for my channel, I would have to check and see if they made them in left-hand models, because people watching my videos would ask me that question. So I would definitely look into it. Gunmetal Guy USA says, I'm trying to lose a tactical stomach carport in order to try appendix carry in the future. Yeah, Gunmetal Guy, I hear you. I call it a tactical muffin top. It's more of a food bank for hard times is what I like to think of it as. So I definitely hear you right there, man. Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy says, I've been looking at Versacarry holsters and belts. I may give them a try. Yeah, I think I have them on the lineup. So let's go ahead and move on to the next option that you have out there. So again, we're going to cover some of the big companies. I'm sure I'm going to forget a couple, or some of you might chime in and offer a few more down the road. Here we go. So we've got We the People holsters, okay, made in the USA. These guys have also been around for a while. Free shipping over $50, USA only. They may have had a discount code that popped up. They're a nice kind of middle price option. You know, you're not going to spend like the $10 or $15 you would off a cheap eBay holster, but you're also not going to spend $50, $60, $70 on a basic Kydex holster from these guys. They offer lots of different options, lots of different types of Kydex, different colors and patterns. You can pretty much get whatever you want. And again, they offer them for many different models. I just chose Smith & Wesson just for the heck of it. And something we always forget about, you don't see this a whole lot, Kydex holsters for revolvers. I mean, it's an option. They're out there. A lot of the times we seem to forget about it because for many people, the revolver carry option is outside the waistband, you know, either nylon or leather. But again, here's one for Smith & Wesson K-frame, $41. And just look at all these different options you can go with. Camo, pink camo, 1776, Don't Tread on Me. Woodlands, carbon fiber, colors if you want them. You know, you've got a ton of options, and that's right or left hand. So, and they don't charge anything different. There you go, right or left hand. And if you need to, you can finance it for interest-free payments of $10.25. So there you go. Made in the USA, lifetime guaranteed, inside the waistband, and fits a 1.5-inch belt. So there's lots of information you need to look for when you're looking for a holster. So again, who would conceal carry a revolver? Oh, anybody who wants to, right? So I mean, you've got that option if you want it. Now, this is just one line that these guys offer. They also have leather holsters, so we'll go ahead and check those out. They've got the Independence inside the waistband and the Independence outside the waistband holster. Now, those are $149, but when you're talking about custom leather work, it can get expensive. The time involved in it, the price of the materials, the hardware needed to manufacture a holster like this. the time of the craftsman or craftswoman that's going to make it. Just keep those things in mind. Okay, those things all get calculated in the price of the holster when it's done. But okay, that one's $149, but this one was $30. But I don't think this one was American made. So, you know, you buy with your wallet, you buy with your conscience, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I think it'll be fine. So again, We the People holsters, definitely another one to check out. I think my stepdad has one from these guys too, if I'm not mistaken. But they do have, you know, like all kinds of gear and swag and stuff you can go with. But what they're known for mostly is going to be the holsters. So do check those guys out. That's another option for you. Again, just throwing some brands out there at you. There might be some deals coming up going into the holidays. Just keep that in mind. Gunmetal Guy USA says, I'm looking for Kydex for a single action Colt clone 6.5 inch. So Gunmetal Guy, here's the thing. You know, what do you do if you want a Kydex holster for a holster that for a gun that you have and the holster is not out there? Look around. Okay, if you can't find one, there may be a company that does custom Kydex work. A lot of times they have to use, you know, the blue gun to mold over the Kydex and stuff. So they might not have the dummy gun that they need for your particular firearm, but sometimes they can modify an existing blue gun to make it work. So if you contact some of these companies, maybe for a small extra fee, they will custom make one for you. So that's always an option. Or if you have one local, if you can give them, if it works with your laws and rules, give them your firearm, they can maybe do something with that. So yeah, that's a problem you can run into, is you might want a certain kind of holster. Nobody makes one for that particular gun, or you can't find that type. So that's something you can run into. The Spark Brain says, I am old school, but I've had great luck with 1791 holsters, good quality leather. There we go. So 1791 holsters would be another brand to check out. And like I said, eventually we will get down to Versacarry. Oh, okay. The next one, I've got some experience with these guys too. Let's check this one out. This is probably one of the biggest competitors to Alien Gear, just because they offer a very kind of similar experience. We have hidden hybrid holsters. Okay, so I just picked Smith & Wesson J-Frame 357 mag just to show you that there's revolver options for you. And you might not even realize it, but these companies do make holsters for revolvers too. We're so used to, you know, semi-automatic firearms that we forget that there's other options out there for you also. Now, what's cool about these guys, hidden hybrid, you've got left or right hand draw options, leather color, black or brown. You can choose your belt clip style that you want to. You can choose your Kydex color. It's almost like shopping for a car. You can basically tailor it however you want to make it look the way that you want, which is kind of what I wanted. When I got this guy right here, I wanted something that would match the wood grips on it, just so it would look kind of nice, because I've got a stainless 1911. And, you know, I wanted something that would kind of contrast with it well, look like a nice piece of furniture, you know, very, very important to somebody like me. So yeah, when you go over to the Hidden Hybrid Holsters website, again, $84.95, which is, you know, pretty much on par with what you see over at Alien Gear, maybe just a little more expensive. Again, go into the About Us section, read about the return policy, check out their customer service, see what they have to offer. So here's just the black versus the brown. So again, with the hybrid holsters, you're going to be getting a Kydex shell and either a neoprene or leather backing. So just keep that in mind. So you've got that as an option. But if you go to holsters, I mean, they've got so many different options you can choose from. I mean, look at this. This is, yeah, I mean, you can pretty much find whatever's going to work best for you. You know, traditional outside the waistband, angled outside the waistband, inside the waistband, convertible inside outside the waistband. That's just for 1911s. So sometimes it's fun just to look around on the website and see what they have. If you appendix carry, okay, they also have a special line just for you. Belts, here's all your Beretta holsters, Bursa, Browning. Okay, Boberg, here's an example of one. The Boberg pistol, if you have one of those, no options. So, I mean, they've got a complete listing of all the guns, but you might find a gun that doesn't have a holster. So, like I said, and even if you have like a local leather store, they are like leather working shop, they may be able to custom make a holster for you, even if they don't necessarily make those things. They might only do belts or wallets or whatnot. But many times, if they've got the know-how, they can make you a holster that's going to work for you. So this is, like I said, hidden hybrid holsters. They also got mag carriers. Many of these companies make gun belts, so you can go with their belts if you want to. Sometimes if you combine orders, you can save on shipping and things like that. So again, lots and lots of options for these guys. Here's inside the waistband options for magazine carry. I mean, you can really get yourself loaded up well, but depending on the environment you're going into, you may need that. So just keep that in mind. You might get tired of throwing that magazine in your pocket every time you go to the range and you want to get something, something more functional. Definitely the way to do it. So here we go. 10% off your first order. So you could save $8 and almost 50 cents off that first holster if you just do the little 10% off. So it's about saving you guys money. It's about helping you find exactly what you want. Again, made in the USA, handmade, made with care, lifetime guarantee, 100%. And I don't think I've ever had a holster company like refuse me service on a return or a question that I've had. I've even requested extra clips and belt clips, and they've sent them to me for free because that's what I wanted in the first place, or I wasn't happy with what I had. So call customer service, and they can definitely take care of you. So that was hidden hybrid holsters. Don't worry, we still have a few more we need to get through. Let's see. Echo's reloading chambers out there. He says, good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning, Echo. Good to hear from you. Welcome. New York Outcast says, Tagua, T-A-G-U-A, Tagua, has decent leather holsters at an affordable price. I've had one for over 7 years, and it still works fine. Yeah, I mean, you know, you might be surprised by some of these brands. Like I said, the little mom and pops that I go through, they make great products. You know, it's about getting you value for your money. That's what's important, especially these days, right? Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue. The next one we're going to go off to is Versacarry, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Versacarry, the one that some of you have been asking about. I'm just going to go right to their inside the waistband holsters. I mean, in all honesty, we could probably do an episode on inside the waistband, outside the waistband, and so on. So they've got a Black Friday special going on, 50% off most products. Use code BLACK21. You've got 1 day, 17 hours, 18 minutes, and 53, 52, 51, 50 seconds to take advantage of that offer. So head over there and you can save some money. So these are interesting. So this is Versacarry. This looks like it's all leather. Yeah, it's all leather. It's got some little slits and cuts in it, kind of fancy looking, kind of avant-garde design, dare I say, as a holster option. So when you go to buy one of these things, you know, sizing guide, you choose the firearm that you're going to be buying. Let's just choose a Beretta 92 FS. Okay. You can choose the size option, select your hand, left-handed or right-handed, choose your color, black or distressed brown. So we'll take a look at it in black. I can't remember if it's Versacarry, but Defense Dad sent me a picture last night. My phone's on the other side of the room. I'm not going to go get it. And they put like copper inserts in these little slits, or behind it, they put a copper plate that kind of gives it some design cues. It kind of blinks it up a little bit. It actually looks really cool. So again, Versacarry kind of offering an alternative option to those more traditional hybrid style holsters. And again, you've got your revolver carry options. You've got, I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can go with. Let's go to the second page real quick here and see what they have. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who makes that one holster I was talking about. It'll probably show up in the comments later. Again, they do that hybrid style too, with the Kydex outside and the leather backing on the rear. Again, you've got that sweat guard is what we call it, that blocks the back of the slide. A little bit of that grip from your skin. I wouldn't worry so much about magazine button coverage when it comes to these holsters. It used to be a big thing that I wanted. All my Kydex holsters offer something that covers the magazine release button so that you don't lean back on it and it could possibly eject your magazine. I've never had it happen before. I suppose it's a possibility, but I don't think it's really anything you need to worry about. So here's the Rebel inside the waistband holster. This one's $69.99. You can do 4 interest-free payments on it if you want to. The backing is also important. Sometimes it's just grained leather. Sometimes it's neoprene. This is a nylon backing. This looks really comfortable. It's got some padding built into the back of it, which is very unique. A lot of times you don't get that padding. You just have just a straight cut of neoprene or leather, and that's it. So this looks like a nice like middle of the road option, you know, something a little bit different than what you're used to. They've also got much more just simple designs. So like, for example, here's the, this one's called the Zero Bulk Revolver holster. It just basically covers the trigger, the cylinder, and the barrel. And there might be like a little peg. Yeah, there's a little peg here that goes up into the barrel. But if it covers the trigger and it's safe, you know, then do what works best for you. I mean, that looks fine. It's not going to give you a lot of protection for the outside of the gun from wear and tear. But again, your gun is a tool. It's meant to be used. So there's an option for you. Again, lots of just crazy options that I honestly didn't even know was out there. So if we go back to, let's check their outside the waistband holsters real quick here. I was going to check and see if I could find that. So outside the waistband, they give you the extra magazine option if you want to. You're going to pay a little bit more for it, but you kind of get some really neat looking designs, especially if you're kind of into this color scheme. Here it is. Okay, the Versacarry Decree. My 1911 would look so sweet in this one. So you've got this distressed leather back, kind of a dark chocolate leather on the front, and then this copper insert on the inside that we're assuming is going to be clear coated. I was talking to Defense Dad about that. I said, I hope this doesn't tarnish and start to turn green, but it's probably sealed, so you have to worry about that. But I just think that's just a neat looking holster. I really, really like that. Look at that. You get the little copper inserts in there. And I'm not really a person who's into fashion or bling, but that just looks sweet. I'm sorry, it just looks cool. So sizing guide. Oh, yeah, you would choose your gun. I'm not sure what this is exactly. It says select your size 1, size 2, size 3. I'd have to look into what that's all about. And then there's size P365. So I don't know if they offer more coverage off the back of the gun or less, if they cut down the back of the sweat guard. I'm not a Versacarry customer, so maybe some of you guys could chime in. What is the select your size option on Versacarry's website? We're not going to take the time to look at it right now, but I'm seeing a little get 25% off tag in the bottom left-hand corner, get 50% off right now. And this one's $84.99. I might just have to order that one in the next day. As much as I like this, I like that a lot better. So anyway, that looks really cool. And since I just have a full-size 1911, it's easy to find holsters for it. There's tons and tons of them out there. So, all right, we do have that as an option. Now, we'll kind of take a little halftime break here. And before we go into the last couple options that I have for you, I just wanted to show something off. So, you know, a lot of people go buy holsters like this. I've used these in many, many videos. In fact, they're kind of custom adjusted to whatever video I was making. So this is an old school Uncle Mike's holster that I bought at Walmart. It was like 15 bucks. Originally bought it for a PT111 G2. You can use it inside the waistband, outside the waistband. You've got 2 belt loops on it. I know they're kind of hideous looking, but they're completely functional. It does have the strap that goes over the top. I've taken it off just because when I carry at the range, I just have the gun in there and I'm not running around doing tactical drills or anything. I just want a quick draw. I want to be able to put it back easily, not to mess with the little strap over the top while I'm filming. You do have a magazine pouch in the front, and it is kind of flimsy, but it's held up well. This is a size 5, and it fits many different guns. So if you've got something where the barrel pokes out of the bottom, you can still use it. So like $10, $15, this is something to at least get you started if you can't find anything. This is a Crossman holster that was in the airsoft section at Walmart. I don't have the strap on it, but it did come with a little retention strap you can use. Again, it's got the little Velcro, so you can put it over any size belt. Got the magazine pouch in the front. So you can laugh me out of the room with these things, but they're totally functional. And if you watch my videos, I've worn these in dozens and dozens of videos and never had any problems with them. You know, I know a lot of people, you know, just they make something like this work. I don't know. Some people have said that the nylon can be dangerous around the trigger. I don't see how anything could force its way into the nylon and pull the trigger unless you're pushing down like on a pocket tool or maybe a pocket knife or something. Or so anyway, you know, little nylon options. This is Gunmate. These are from Walmart. They've got a whole wall of these things. And they usually put the models on the back of the packaging, telling you what they fit. Simple belt loop, nothing fancy, little strap over the top. And I mainly just get this when I do revolver videos and I just want something for a range trip or something for, you know, walking around. Artisan Tony says, I hear you're giving away a Mantis Laser Academy training system. Yes, Tony, I did mention it at the beginning of the show, but I do want to mention it again because we've got more people watching now than we had before. So go over to Artisan Tony's channel, check his video out about the Mantis laser system, okay? And then come back to my channel and watch my video on the Mantis laser system, my review. And there's a little Easter egg in my video, something peculiar that shows up in the video. If you mention what that item is, you're going to be entered into the drawing. If you at least try when you comment on the video to mention what that item is, you'll be entered into the drawing. Tony, didn't you say if somebody gets it correct, they choose that correct item, that they get entered twice into the drawing? We'll have to figure that out. Either it's going to have to come out of a hat with their name in 2 times, or we do randomcommentpicker.com, but that only gives you 1 entry per person. So we'll figure it out. We're going to do that drawing in probably about a week or so. If I'm not mistaken, maybe next Friday or something. So that's going to be an option. But yeah, no, Tony, he donated. He's going to be donating that Mantis Laser Academy training. So Mantis is going to be donating it through Tony to one lucky winner. So that's $150 value. And going into wintertime, a laser training system is really, really nice to have. I will say that. So, okay, so Artisan Tony says, yes, extra entries for correct answer. Yeah. So if you go to my channel and check out the video, it's about 13 minutes long. I kind of go through quirks and features and different options and setup and so on for the Mantis system. I show how it works. I even use it with a pistol caliber carbine, which is something I have not seen in other Mantis videos. I'm sure there's probably a dozen where people do that, but I haven't seen any. So I went ahead and tried it, and it worked. So Gunmetal Guy USA says, I have a holster like that too. I'm not ashamed. It's a learning thing. Yeah, it's kind of funny. When I show holsters like this or a Blackhawk holster or Safariland holster on a YouTube video, people just rip on it. There's just gun shaming. It's kind of funny that we're ripping on people that are new to the gun world about the stuff that they're buying, maybe with what little money they have. And we're just like, that's a crap holster, blah, blah, blah. Look, man, we all start off with Uncle Mike's. Okay. Most of us did, right? At some point or another, we bought a cheap holster. We wanted something right away, or we've got a family member that did, or a kid. It's childish. It really is childish to sit there and rip on somebody for their holster. Now, if they have a holster that's dangerous, like I know a lot of people complain about the Safari Lands with the buttons on them, that they can wedge with rocks in them and not work, or they can catch on the trigger and stuff like that. I get that. But to sit there and shame on somebody because they have an inexpensive firearm or an inexpensive holster, what a great way to shame somebody out of the community we're trying to build. Anyway, that's just me scolding you guys. Let's go on. All right. After Versacarry, we've got one of my favorite companies, and it's just because they're already offering me 10% off when I go to the website, just because they're the first company I went to for a carry holster, because they were the only company that had a carry holster for my pistol, which was that old FN9C Compact, which I don't even know if they even make it anymore. So we'll head over to Kydex Holsters. And again, kind of Kydex, Klinger Holsters, who makes Kydex holsters. And when you go there, you might be a little bit confused. Does this plus this equal my Lazy Boy? No, you get Lazy Boy-like comfort when you take the little Klinger cushion and you attach it to the Klinger holster with your clip on the outside, and you wear it in a concealed carry fashion. And I actually have had one of these. I don't have it anymore because I sold the firearm with the holster that this was attached to, but this was really, really, really nice. It only offered like maybe not even a quarter inch, a little over a quarter inch of bulk. And it really softened the carrying experience of the gun pressing up against your hip, especially if you're riding a vehicle a lot or you're moving around where stuff's going to press up against you. That little extra cushion, which these cost 20 bucks, they Velcro onto the side of your holster when you put it in, and it really does make it much more comfortable. And I had that when I was rocking a full-size G17 Gen 4, and it was just awesome. I mean, I could wear it all day. It really was that nice. So we'll check out Klinger holsters real quick and see what they offer. We'll go search by gun. Looks like they've got a deal, 20% off site-wide if you use the code Klinger20, and that's for another 17 hours and 13 minutes. So take advantage of these Cyber Week deals, because when they're not on sale, they're just not on sale anymore. It's not like they do that all the time. So let's just pick a random holster. Let's go with Beretta, a Beretta 92F, okay? So here's the options when you go over to Klinger. You've got the cushion for 20 bucks, okay? And I believe it comes with Velcro that you use to attach it. They've got a complete concealment holster package for $109, but again, you can get 20% off site-wide. Here's inside the waistband, outside the waistband. When you see these holes on the outside, this is going to show you that it's reversible for lefties, and so you have that as an option. Something else that's really nice to consider, aftermarket sights, that can have a huge impact on whether or not you can use the holster that you're using. If you've got suppressor height sights or a suppressor ready barrel, you might have some trouble finding a holster that's going to work, because a lot of these gun companies don't make the holster for suppressor ready barrels where you've got a half inch sticking out of the front of the barrel with a thread on the end of it, or a nut on the end of it for suppressor. Also, if you've got large aftermarket sights, good holster companies offer a nice channel going over the top of the holster that's going to give you space, so you have clearance for those sights. So if you're not running stock sights, that's an issue you can run into. Or maybe you put like an aftermarket rear adjustable sight on your pistol, you can have problems making that fit in the holster that you just bought. So it's important to know these things. It could really limit your carry options. So the more you go and modify the gun from the original format, the harder of a time you're going to find finding a holster. Also, weapon lights, keep that in mind. If you have a TLR1, there are companies that make holsters for popular models of firearms like M&Ps and G17s and so on, with the light on it that'll fit in a Kydex, retention holster. They're going to be expensive. You're probably going to spend $80 to $100 on one, and you're going to be limited with who offers that. But there are companies out there that do it. I've actually found some over on eBay from small mom and pops that offer that option. They would take a Beretta or a Glock 17 with the TLR1 mold, and they would make a holster for it. So you have that as an option. You don't have as many options, but if you carry a weapon light, you might be looking at maybe going to like a police supply store to find one. And so that's something you can run into also. So these little variables that you run into when it comes to getting a holster, these can cause issues that you run into. Inside the waistband, outside the waistband, they also make these simple little sticky holsters. You just put your gun in the holster and you can put it in your pocket, and then you can pull the gun out without the holster coming out. It's not sticky, but it's kind of a texture that's kind of grippy in your pocket. These cling clipless holsters, I've actually tested these before. I really like them. You can put a small gun in it, put it in your pocket, and you're good to go. I don't recommend off-body carry, but when I do, which is sometimes when I'm walking the dog, if I've got like, you know, like shorts on and a jacket or sweats and I don't want to put a holster on that's going to weigh down, I've got a little clip, a little Kydex clip that goes over the trigger of my P365, and I can put that in my pocket. And then I've got the rope tied onto my zipper so I can whip the gun out. The trigger guard comes off in 1 second. I've got access to the pistol. You might say, well, why wouldn't you just go for your holster? You know, just put it in regular holster. It weighs down sweats, really hard to carry with sweatpants on, like actually inside the waistband for me. And then also you have to dig around layers of clothing to try to get to your gun. I might be wearing a sweatshirt and a t-shirt, a coat over it. For me, it's just easier to reach in my pocket and pull out the gun. So I do recommend on-body carry at all times, but if you have to off-body carry or you're going to pocket carry, this is going to be an option for you. Okay, so that's something to remember. Again, they also offer magazine pouches, so you can put the magazine in the other pocket, and you've got yourself a nice little setup when you go out. Put this in a pair of, you know, cargo shorts or, you know, whatever, jean pockets, whatever you're wearing, and you can make it work for you. So Klinger doesn't offer a ton of models of holsters. They've kind of changed their holsters as time has progressed, I've noticed. But here's just their basic Kydex gear holster. I don't even remember what the original holster was called that they started making, but this is the closest thing to what I had. And they always obviously advertise it with that cushion, which is going to be optional. Sometimes they give you a discount if you buy it with the holster. Klinger's nice. You do have adjustable ride height, so you can adjust how high or how low that gun's going to sit on your pants. You also have the adjustable cant angle. So there was a time when you could only get it with like a regular cant angle or an FBI cant angle or like a 12-degree cant angle. This one gives you adjustability of what, 45 degrees, I think is what I'm seeing here. So that's really cool. Again, adjustable ride height. And so it's nice. I like, they make great holsters. $49.97 to $58.97, a little bit pricey for a plain Kydex holster, but you're getting that adjustability option with this holster. I only have a couple degrees of cant adjustability. It's pretty much fixed where it is, and thank God it works because I didn't think about that when I ordered it. So there's a little bit of an angle on the back. I can move it, but not a whole lot. So, and this one was $17. This is a small mom and pop on eBay that advertises, and this is an actual Kydex holster for the P365. But I would have liked to have that ride height adjustment and maybe more adjustability in the cants. But I did get a little 1.5-inch belt loop. And so this is Polecraft is the name of this company. They've got a pretty good sized store on Amazon, but they don't advertise nationally, not that I know of at least. And so that's something that's going to happen there. But yeah, Klinger holsters, I've had really good luck with them, and they're one of the few companies that actually made the holster for the FN9C. So maybe check here first. They tend to get models out before a lot of other companies do, especially if you buy an unusual gun, but maybe you got like an Arex or you've got a Lugo Arms or something like that, right? And you know, you're looking for a holster. Check here first before you go anywhere else. That's what I did, and I had really good luck with those guys. Okay, what do we have for comments going on? New York Outcast says, I only have one pair of sweats and only put it on when I'm sick or really lazy, like Christmas morning. Probably should still get something for them. See, Outcast, when I go walk the dog at like 5 in the morning, I don't feel like really putting jeans on or anything, or I'm just already in my sleeping clothes, I guess you could say. So I just want to put a coat on and go take the dog out. Sometimes on the weekends when I do some work, but I'm not really a sweatpants and hoodie, go to Walmart kind of guy. I'm more of a jeans coat, you know, but sometimes it's difficult to carry with sweats because you don't have a belt on. You could put a belt on, I suppose, if you want to. So again, when you holster carry, that holster might not work for every situation. So you got to look into things like pocket carry and so on as an option. Let's see here. New York Outcast says, I do recommend getting a custom fit holster for EDC. Yeah, you want something that's going to fit, that's going to stay in place, that's going to work with your belt. You don't want something that, like, when you pull the gun out, the holster comes with it. You know, you want to adjust the retention. You want to play around with it a little bit. Me, I tend to do a 3 or 4 o'clock carry just because I have it right there. I used to do a 6 o'clock carry. Nothing wrong with that, but I know if I'd ever fall on my back, I mean, I'd hate to injure my spine. But anyway, just now, New York Outcast does say, I used an Uncle Mike holster and a mag pouch for a class once. It worked fine for me. Yeah, I mean, with a belt and then the proper strap over the top, you know, it'll get you through. It's fine. They're just not quite as nice, but they're kind of bulky. But then again, they work good. So, all right. Am I missing any other comments? Gunmetal Guy USA says, I watched the video when it debuted already, but I think I'll go watch it again. Yeah, thank you, Gunmetal Guy. I appreciate that. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and continue. We got a few more people that have joined in. All right, so that covers Klinger holsters. Okay, after that, we're going to end up, we got just a couple little alternative options, something a little more budget friendly. Maybe, you know, you were allowed to get that one gun in your marriage and you don't have a lot of extra money to spend on ammo, or, you know, the wife's nagging you about getting an expensive holster, or your husband or whatever. Let's just show you some inexpensive alternatives, because I think it's important that we cover the entire spectrum of everybody's budget. And you might not realize it, but Uncle Mike's offers a lot of different products. You know, many times when you think of Uncle Mike's, you think of these budget friendly holsters that are 15 to 20 bucks. You get them at Walmart, they're okay. But they do have shoulder carry options, which we haven't even talked about. I do have one shoulder carry holster for just compact pistols, but I don't really ever use it. But again, $43 if you want one. Okay, they also have Kydex options. Oh, so here's the Spyros multi-fit holster. Let's see what this is all about. Does this actually include a weapon light? Okay, so here's an option for one that allows you to carry with a weapon light. I'm not sure if this is going to be compatible with. I'd say retention. First, it's Uncle Mike's first friction retention holster and light combo. It says designed for shooter who seeks economy and performance. The new holster features a special formulation of glass-filled polymer that delivers superior durability and provides maximum protection for your firearm. So it's kind of that injection molded plastic, which is going to be fine. Look, if it offers retention and it works for you, and this light will survive a few rounds downrange, it should be okay, especially if you don't have a lot of money to spend right now. What I do like about this is you can adjust the cant angle based off of where you position the screws. You've also got probably about an inch of ride height adjustability, which is really cool. And this is an inexpensive outside the waistband option. So it's going to give you a pistol light and a holster for $50.95. Now, granted, you know, you can get a TLR1 white light for 120 bucks. You can get a nice, you know, a nice Kydex holster for say 70 or 80. So for around 200, you could get a combo that's going to last you basically a lifetime. But if not, okay, this is always an inexpensive option too. Uncle Mike's also makes tactical belts. I've got, well, they did. I've got one of their guns that I use for 3-belt, and it works really, really well. It's got the inside belt and the outside Velcro belt that goes over it. And I've had that for years. I bought it on clearance at a gun store many years ago, and it's held up well. So this is Uncle Mike's kind of entry into the inside the waistband, kind of alien gear style holsters. I guess you could say twin clip holster. This is their apparition holster. It doesn't look like it's the most durable thing in the world. I mean, these look a little flimsy, but I wouldn't know until I try it. You can see how you have different options on angles and where your belt's going to go. It looks like it's just that glass-filled polymer or injected molded plastic, whatever you want to call it. But again, it's also only $29.95. So you're looking at, you know, $20 to $30 cheaper than the competition. I would hope this wouldn't jiggle around too much and make too much noise. It might be kind of annoying, but if it keeps the gun secure, then more power to you. You've got options for ride height, which is really nice too. So again, you've got an option. You can choose the weapon, and they do offer it for your popular models: PT-111 G2, M&P Shield, Glock 43, Glock 19, P365, Springfield Hellcat, Glock 43, 43X. Most of these are out of stock. I'd imagine they'll get them back into stock soon. It's kind of funny how they have these, you know, $500, $600, $700 guns, and they're sold out on a $30 holster. So what does that say about customers? I mean, really, there are people that buy these. Looks like they're offering free shipping on orders $50 and more. And it says, due to COVID-19, we're experiencing delays in processing. So you might have to wait a little while before you get it. Okay, let's go back to Uncle Mike's holsters one more time here. So they've got a, what is this? Dual retention Codra holster. Okay, so they've got lots of different options here for you. Again, inexpensive, just, you know, plastic holsters. So you've got some options here. They do offer them for many different models, and their size, it'll have a listing of models that'll fit it, like certain barrel lengths. But if it says, oh, it fits 3.5-inch pistols, it may not work with your particular pistol. So keep that in mind. That's why whenever I buy a cheap holster like Gunmate or Uncle Mike's, I tend to buy it like at Walmart, so I can take it back easy if I need to. And so that's, you know, that's something that I do recommend, especially if it doesn't work. Belts, I was going to see if they still offer their tactical belts. No, these are duty belts. The one that I have, here it is, the Ultra, oh, the competition belt. Yeah, this is what I use for 3-gun, $26.95. You've got an inside belt that goes right through your loops. Then you have your outside accessory belt. So all you have to do is just put your like MOLLE attachment or belt clip accessories on that belt, and you just literally lay it over the inside belt, and it's got Velcro all the way around. And I've used it through a few competitions, and it's actually held up really well. And so they have different sizes. I had The 2XL, I've got a size 42 waist, and the 2 extra large works great. Obviously, it's out of stock, but when it's back in stock, it's something to consider. And then quantity. So $26.95 for basically a 3-gun grade belt. That's an incredible value, and it's very well made. Also, it's made in the USA, so that's something to consider too. So $27 for competition belt. If you're going to take any classes or you're going to go to the range a lot, these are just really nice because basically you can have that inside belt on when you go to the range, and then you can just put your accessories on, add on that outside belt, and you're up and running in no time at all. Also, if you have to transition between holsters or pouches, it really makes it nice because you don't have to like go unloop and take the entire belt off your waist. So competition belts, duty grade belts, yeah, definitely something to check out. So I've been really happy with that. Again, I'm not endorsed by Uncle Mike's, but that's a really, really good one that's out there. Let's see. X Adam 1 says standard CI USA and LAS. Is that like LAS concealment have great quality Kydex holsters? Lobo and 1791 holsters are great leather holsters. Yeah, 1791 was another brand. That was a brand that was recommended earlier, Adam. New York Outcast says Ozzy from YouTube makes a nice custom leather holster. If you can get him to make you one, it's worth it. Yeah, God, mine's in the closet. I got to get it out, and it's just sitting in there right now, and I got to get it because I haven't been using it because I've been using my pocket carry for my P365. But beautiful holster, beautiful holster. Whenever I outside the waistband the 365, I do use the holster that Ozzy made for me. So, all right, see if we're missing anything else here. 2-Gun Kitty the Catnip Outlaw says, I like JM custom Kydex holsters in 1791. So there's 3 votes for 1791. You know, let's just check those guys out real quick. I've got about 30 minutes here before I have to let everybody go. So let's go to 1791 holsters here real quick. All right, 1791gunleather.com. All right, let me go and do a screen share for you here. Mountain View says, hey guys, what's going on, Mountain View? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. There we go. All right, so what is it about 1791 holsters? So they have 10% off site-wide. There you go. Off your first order. So get signed up for that 10% off. Let's shop for, let's just go right to the jugular holsters. Okay. So 1791 Gun Leather offers the perfect handgun holster, hand-finished interiors that protect the bluing of your pistol, reinforced stitching that increases the secure hold of your firearm, detailed handcrafting, multi-fit designs, your choice of stealth black, brown, or black signature brown, or classic brown. So let's just go to, optics carry. Oh God, that's another thing I didn't mention. Optics. If you have optics on your firearm and optics carry, there's a possibility that the Kydex cut on that holster is going to be too high. It's not going to work with your optics. So an easy way around this is you can Dremel out whatever you need to. You can just bore out whatever space you need to make on it. That was one of the things I thought was really cool about this one that I bought for the PDP. It's cut low enough, regardless of what optic I have on it, it's not going to ram into that Kydex. And so that was something also. When I bought this holster, I like that option because I might put some sort of an optic on that PDP at some point. Now, I shoot it just fine, but if I want to, it's good to know that I'm not going to have to buy another holster. So that's a whole nother ball of wax I didn't mention. So if it's made for the optic, you might have to contact the manufacturer and ask them, hey, is this compatible with an optics cut? Like if you look at this picture right here in the top left corner of this SIG, I think is what that is right there. It's got the SIG side on the top of it, and the leather is just low enough that it doesn't hit the optic. So that would suck to spend $80 or $100 on a holster, and then, you know, it's not going to work for you in the end. Let's go to, man, they got a lot of options. Let's go to inside the waistband. All right, so what are we looking at price? So just simple, universal, inside the waistband, outside the waistband gun strap holsters, $34. Ultra custom concealment is $99. So it looks like they use leather for their holsters. Really, really nice. Got a kind of a suede and leather combo right here. Okay, that's $44. They also do Kydex. P365 for $64.99. So again, they can get a little expensive, but you're buying quality, you're buying, good craftsmanship and so on. So they do offer a lot of Kydex options. You've got some simple Revolver holsters. Looks like they use a good quality leather too, just kind of glancing at it. Like I mentioned earlier, make sure you guys get a hold of Mike over at MK's Outdoor Journal, and you'll have an opportunity to talk to him about making you a holster too. So that's something you can do. Very, very cool. Okay, so $17.91 gun leather. Check them out. They are recommended by some of the viewers on this channel, which is really cool. Hey, there's Squibby. Squibload, what's going on, brother? How's it going? How you doing, man?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. I do have StreamYard set up so it does bong me with a little tone when somebody shows up, so I don't have to keep you waiting. But Squid, we got about maybe 20 minutes left over. I'm just going to put you on the spot. Holsters. I did talk about the Milsurp holster with the flap over the top. What works best for you for a carry holster? I know you don't carry a whole lot, but when you do, what do you do? What did you go through for your holster options?
When I started conceal carrying, that's usually, when people think carry, it's always conceal carry.
Yeah.
Or that's what's implied. When I went conceal carrying, I just went back to the gun store where I bought my first handgun. It was the only handgun I had at the time, and I said I need a conceal carry holster for this, and they had a whole bunch of them, and they made a suggestion, and it was $95, I think it was. And I go, $95? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And, it's just a piece of leather. And I remember now. I bought a Kydex. I bought a Kydex to start off the internet, had it shipped in, and didn't like it. Just didn't like it at all. And talked to a guy at work that I had known who had been concealed carrying longer than me, obviously, because I had just. He had more experience with that sort of thing, holsters and whatnot, and he said, get leather. Trust me, get leather. So I went down to the store where I bought the gun and told them that I wanted leather. And then they're like, yeah, this one here, trust me, this one. And I had brought the gun back, and they let me try it on right there in the store with the gun. And I put it on, and I go, yeah, this actually works. And I went in and paid it. I still have the holster.
Yeah.
I pulled it out of the safe and wore it recently. It still does the job 20 years later. But I don't know. I guess if you're not a holster person, or you're just not sure, if you know a store where they've got a lot of options there. I mean, this store is a pretty big store, and it sells more than just guns. I mean, they make a lot off their accessories. I would go that route if you're just not sure. I mean, don't be surprised that the salesperson's trying to cash in, but then again, you also get what you pay for. Sometimes you pay way too much for junk, and I guess it just depends on what kind of person you are too. There are some people that are like, oh, I'm not spending that sort of money, and then you're never gonna. They're just better off going buying a $6 one at Walmart, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned. Yeah.
But that's what I did, since I just didn't have the experience. The open carry holster I wear is the same holster I wore in the military. And some people look at that and they say it's slow and all this other stuff. Yeah, that I've got a couple of those. That is for a Makarov, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the Makarov one that I got from I think it was Travis T, maybe, that I did a trade with on a gun. So
now the way that leather retaining strap is there, you got to pull it off the snap and then pull that big flap off.
You got to kind of keep it out of the way as you draw the weapon.
Yeah, you have to kind of keep it out of the way as you draw the weapon. That one is not it's even slower than the American holster, but there's a lot of protection for the firearm there. There's a lot of retention there, and you might go, I don't care, I need to pull the gun out fast. If you need to pull the gun out fast, a holster like that, or a holster like what I carry when I open carry, is not the holster for you. But it's not always about how fast you pull the gun out. And it is. There's different reasons for different things. In the military, we're not doing quick draw. This isn't concealed carry. I went to Joe Blow's overpriced gun training institute.
And if you are, you're going to go into it weapons ready anyway. You're going to be going into it with
you're not. That's the whole thing about.
You could be engaged out of nowhere, but typically, if you're going to go into something, weapons are going to be ready to go.
It's kind of like the whole what's with the safety thing, and it's like I'm at the low ready. I got one in the chamber. As I'm bringing the rifle up, I take the safety off. As I pull the sidearm out of my holster, I'm flipping the safety off. It's just something we're trained with. and it's not for everybody. But yeah, with a flap holster, you've got something that protects the firearm, especially like if you're hiking,
marine environment, or weather with snow, rain, because especially if you're going to wear it, you have to wear it outside the waistband.
It doesn't.
You're not going to.
It doesn't look that threatening to some people, but your handgun is right there at your side. And you might go, I just can't get it out fast enough. Dude, if the guy's already got a gun pointed at you, you've lost. I don't care what you've got. Okay. So it's not about being the first one to draw with one of those. And it's just not for everybody. Also, the holster that I use, you can remove the flap. It's reversible for you lefties, for you wrong-handed people, but you can also remove the flap.
Yeah,
and there is a quick break option. Not that particular holster, but the M12 holster that I use. But yeah, the military holsters, though, if you're collecting the Milsurp handgun, having a matching holster is kind of nice.
Yeah, that one actually even has loops on the side of it for a cleaning rod. I just realized that looking at it, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So I don't know if I got the cleaning rod with it, but I could buy one if I wanted to. But
yeah, some of them actually come with the cleaning rod and a spare magazine. Or at least they did back in the day. Nowadays, things are getting a little bit more slim pickings.
I do like your suggestion, because here I am telling people I'm giving all these little steps of criteria that you should go through before you choose that first holster. But you really gave one of the simplest solutions. Go to the gun store. Now, like when I go to Shields and I hear them making a sale, somebody's making a sale on a gun, they'll say, hey, would you like to look at the holsters or extra magazines? And there's somebody who's totally new, like, yeah, I would like some help on that. And I will say this, just looking around the local Shields, they carry the popular brands. They've got the We the People holsters. They've got Alien Gear. They've got a whole wall of it. So they're going to show you the brands that I think more people are going to recognize, and you're going to pay a full MSRP for those. But, if you got questions about it, the people that work in their departments at Shields, what I like about that store, they are enthusiasts in that area. So they're not going to be somebody who's like, yeah, let's just find one that fits your barrel length and they send you on your way. They're actually going to, make sure you get something that's going to work for you. They really do a good job. And yeah, they're getting the extra money off the sales. But again, why wouldn't you want to get a holster and extra mags if you're going to be buying this one gun to carry? So instead of buying a couple of them online and maybe being disappointed with what you get, if you don't know where to go, just go to the gun store, mom and pop, or big box, whatever works for you, and ask for some help on the holsters. And many times the packaging on those, it's designed to be opened and closed, so you can make sure that the holster is going to fit. I mean, they might not get you all set up in the store to physically wear it, but they can at least get you suggestions to give you the best option. So yeah, don't fall back on some good old fashioned customer service to get what you need. That's actually not a bad idea. And honestly, here's the other thing too. If you can buy it locally, and you don't always get free shipping on these holsters, but if you can get one locally, you don't have to pay the shipping on it, which is nice. Sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 bucks. You're going to have to pay sales tax anyway. So you might as well just go ahead and just go local and get one. I noticed at Shields, they have a couple like mom and pop lines of leather holsters for like 1911s and revolvers. They might be big in the world of those particular arms, but I've never really seen them advertised online. But they do offer some good options. So again, I'm always pushing companies like Shields because they're very pro 2A. They've got enthusiasts that work in their departments. They're family-owned business, even though they're a big company. And I just, I think they give good advice. So
now, not all gun stores are going to let you try on a holster there in the store.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to have
probably,
policies, or maybe let you in the back room.
Being that you're buying it at that point of sale, they've already cleared it in front of you. They do it multiple times when you buy the gun. They clear it. When you get a chance to handle it, they clear it. Before you take it, the manager comes over and checks off the safety procedures that they've gone through with you about understanding how it works and things like that. They actually go out of their way to do that. And then it'll be clear. So if they bring the holster over to the counter, you can at least see how it's going to fit. But I mean, you just adjust it to fit you, and then you put the gun in and carry it. It's not that hard. But again, there are some people that are complete noobs to firearms, and they don't know these things. Well, and I mean, I've got friends that don't know anything more than pulling the trigger, Well,
so the thing is, so if you have sticker shock like I did, I'm like $95.
Oh, we were looking at some that were pushing 120. Yeah.
So for that price, I think you should let me try it on, especially if it has the clamshell packaging. And in my experience, most of them have had that, and you can just put it back in. It's no big deal, and that sort of thing. If they don't, then you might want to try another store. But there's also the ordering online, and there's no way to try it out. And we all have the box that you just showed. The box with I have my cardboard box with
15 holsters in
with 15 holsters. Yes, I do. I have that myself. Yes.
Let's one other suggestion I want to give people, and they kind of made me mad because they've banned gun parts, but Etsy, that's one of the ultimate places to go to look for handcrafted items, because on Etsy, the things that you sell are supposed to be handmade goods. That's kind of what Etsy was all centered around. So, but they have a ton of good holsters, and they have a lot of good small businesses that you're supporting when you go this route, and you're getting a lot of good custom made items. So we're going to go right to the holster section over on Etsy, and I just want to show it off. A lot of people, I mean, I didn't start looking at Etsy until about a year ago, but they've got a lot of options, and a lot of these are custom made. There's a lot of leather shops that are on here. Sometimes they're just repackaging and reselling items, but but again, if you're looking for a certain holster for a certain gun, check here if you can't find one. I mean, they've got some wonderful leather work that they do on here. I mean, really, it's Etsy. A lot of people don't realize that it is a place to go. We'll take a look at this this little sleeve over here in just a little bit. But yeah, if you're really into the Western design look, or maybe you're getting something for some single action shooting, handmade quality leather Western holsters for $69.95. They claim to be USA made, and they're based out of the USA, and they've got a shop or a store, and they're highly rated. Go for it. Hey, look, here's a that might be, is that a Makarov? Looks like a Makarov shoulder holster option. They also do some Kydex options, like I said before. So here's FN 509 with Streamlight TLR1 Kydex. You might not be able to find that holster from any of the major manufacturers, but you come over to Etsy, and here's a company that makes one for $65. So that's one thing. If you got a hard to find holster, or you're accessorizing on your gun and you can't find a holster that fits, trust me, if there's something that can be made out of Kydex that can be sold, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to sell it. I mean, that's just my experience with it. But again, you got a ton of different options out here. So again, Etsy is one of those things. But the Etsy did make me mad when they banned the selling of gun parts, which we're talking bayonets, components, pieces, things that aren't even regulated under the NFA.
Screws.
Yeah,
grips.
they banned any and all gun parts, which made me mad, because there's a company here that makes, well, I don't know if they're on here anymore, handmade wood stocks for SKSs. And they make different types and styles of stocks. You can go with the Dragunov style or a Monte Carlo stock. Handmade, you got to wait about 2 months for it. You have like 15 different types of wood to choose from. And they were banned from Etsy, which really makes me mad, because now I can't find them. So I have to kind of look around to see where that company went before I could actually order one. And they were like $129. And so Etsy kind of made me mad, but at the same time, it's a necessary evil. If you can't find what you want and you can't get it locally, do consider going over there. I mean, I know it's more of like a crafting site and stuff like that, or a handmade artisan goods website, an Artisan Tony website. But, anyway, Gunmetal Guy USA says, great tip to put it back in the package, but let's not forget the cough that may be a problem in today's environments. Gunmetal Guy USA says, I haven't visited. Go ahead.
Most gun stores, maybe not big box, but most gun stores, they don't subscribe to the propaganda. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
And most gun store customers don't subscribe to the propaganda either.
And you know who else doesn't subscribe to the propaganda? Single Shot, and he's here with us right now. Good morning, Single Shot. How's it going, brother? How you doing?
Not bad. How you doing this morning? Hey, Squib.
Well, we're about ready to wrap up, because I got to head off to work here soon. I got to get signed in on Zoom. But we're just talking holsters, man. When you look for a holster, Single Shot, what is your criteria that you go for? By the way, check out Single Shot's channel on YouTube, single space shot, ! Like and subscribe. All right. Trying to sound like a high roller here. I mean, bottom feeder YouTuber trying to, sound like the big boys up there. But no, Single Shot, when you go for a holster, what is your criteria? What do you care about? Buy whatever fits. What's your deal?
It all depends on what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for a hunting holster, then it's going to either be leather or nylon, one or the other. Prefer leather. The inside the waistband is what I've been carrying lately. That's what I look at for EDC anyway.
Yeah, so you tend to go for leather, nylon, and so. Are you not much of a fan of Kydex?
Yeah, that's what I got. IWB's Kydex.
Yeah, because we've covered the whole gamut of holsters today so far. Everything from the Uncle Mike's nylon all the way up to, we talked about the hidden hybrid holsters with the Kydex front and the neoprene or the leather backing. And, we've gone over like a dozen brands. So usually it's going to be, that's another good point, is what application do you need it for? Do you need something tactical where you're going to be wearing body armor, so you need drop leg? Or do you want to just go for something easy to conceal and simple to put on and hide, like this little Kydex holster? Or do you want something outside the waistband? So it really kind of depends on your application. And then as you watch this video, just kind of go through the criteria that I gave you today. And I mean, you really can't go wrong. Like I said, the return policy is the big one. Know what the policies are. If they let you return it, money back guarantee within 30 days. Do keep your receipt, keep your invoice, keep all the hardware and the packaging. You're gonna have to pay return shipping on it. But if it just doesn't work, I'd rather lose 12 bucks than lose 50, I guess, and be stuck with a holster that's just gonna go in a box for another 20 years, right? So keep that in mind. The last carry holster that I wanted to show you, and this is no like religious basis in it, but I'm just fascinated by this one. Me being somebody who was sent to a Catholic school as a child, not even as a Catholic, I almost feel like I would need to confess after buying this just because of what I'm doing. Is it a sin to be a poser? I guess, is it a sin to be a poser Christian? So here we go.
Okay, so wait a minute. What's the real sin? That you're pretending to be a Christian, or that you're desecrating a Bible? I
know, it's like, I almost feel, I mean, this is a brilliant idea. You could walk in with this anywhere. Who's going to ask to see the inside of your Bible cover? Who? Nobody that I know of would ever, except for like a metal detector, right? So you could take that thing. You could take that thing. And I'm not saying you should go break the law, but you could carry that in your hands. Nobody would ever say anything, not that I know of.
Not only would nobody say anything, there'd be people that would walk the other way.
I know, they're like, oh God, he's gonna go all Joel.
Carry a couple pamphlets. Carry a couple pamphlets with you.
Good morning, everybody. Today we're gonna talk about the book of Sig 365, right? That's my Joel's. Not knocking the guy. My grandpa watches him on a daily basis, but okay, that doesn't look like it fits. Come on, that barely. I don't know about that one. I guess you could put a little pocket. You could put a pocket Bible in there, but I mean, think about that single shot. Isn't that about the most brilliant thing you've ever seen? That's included with the lock. They paddle lock it.
Why do you have to lock your Bible?
It gives you minimal child protection, is what it says on the. They said it's not a childproof case, but it'll give you a minimal amount of. Maybe you got like a first edition King James edition that's like 1,500 years old, and you want to protect it. So if
you think about it, though, if you if you can't draw the gun fast enough, if you're in a self-defense situation and you're close enough to him, but you can't, you can always smite him with this holster.
Hit him with the Old Testament of Springfield.
Smite him.
So here's the thing, and I'm not knocking on religion. I'm not knocking on anybody's faith, but I mean, I just kind of got a chuckle out of it because maybe it's my old Catholic school days. This is kind of like seriously.
I'm a proud Christian, and I'm making jokes too. You
could set that on a hotel counter, and nobody would even question it. I mean, because nobody thinks, who's going to put a gun in a Bible cover? I mean, seriously, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. $40. I mean, I'd almost consider this just for that ultimate gray man approach. I mean, this right here, plus you got the extra magazine pouch in there too. So I don't know. I guess I look at it and laugh. I'm like, man, that's just why. It's one of those things where you wish you would have thought of it first,
But this is for a subcompact, maybe a compact. I'd need the family size Bible,
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. They have to have the old King James edition with
the one that you've got on the shelf with the pictures for the kids and stuff like that. The big one that you when you're reading the Bible stories about Jonah in the whale and Noah's Ark and all that other stuff. That big one with I've got one downstairs somewhere.
This is the only Bible that I have, the Good News Bible, today's English version, and this was actually given to me by my godparents back in 1988. So I don't think this is going to fit. I'm going to have to get the duffel bag Bible cover. So the Good News Bible is kind of interesting. The pictures in it, they're like 70s style, look like anyway. It's just it's its own thing. But anyway,
you could get a Glock inside that.
Again, do I want to go take a knife to a Bible and put a gun in it?
No. It's like that Disney movie. It was at Treasure Island. Who put the black spot on the book from the Bible or whatever that guy? Yeah.
Maybe you can get like a pre-cut, like non-printed Bible that says it's a Bible that has the cutting already in it. I know they make books for gun conceal. I've seen them before. They're pre-cut pages that you can set a gun in. So like I said, if there's a place to put a gun, there's somebody that makes a product for it. And that I might just have to buy one of those Bible cases for Christmas. I seriously, just one of those times where if I want to carry somewhere for whatever reason and I don't want to draw attention to myself. Of course, somebody might say, oh, you're a believer. Can we read some scripture together? I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, but
you got that in your hand. Oh, what's your favorite book? Revelation? Yeah.
It goes with your clean cut image, Travis.
Yes. I want to add that I was a Protestant attending a Catholic school, so I was kind of an outsider looking in. So it was an interesting life I had growing up in middle school and high school. So, anyway, man, how did we get on that topic? But anyway, I just thought that was genius. I thought so. If you want to get something for the gun person that has everything, just get them that Bible gun case and say, look at this. This is the most brilliant thing ever. You don't even have to be a believer to enjoy its benefits. That's all I'm going to say. There we go. So anyway, I'm
going to get into another fanny pack because I had one here years ago.
Yes.
And
does anybody make a tactical fanny pack, like a fanny pack with a holster built into it? Do they make one with like a Kydex shell in it that you can put a gun in that'll clip into place so you can safely fanny pack carry?
They had a few of them online. I was looking at yesterday, and they weren't too awfully bad on the price. I'm not going to buy El Cheapo because that last one I bought, well, it was fairly well constructed and it lasted quite a while. But this one here is going to take quite a banging and beating around, so I'm going to invest a little bit of change in it.
People are probably going to stay away from you anyway. But then if you do, I mean, nobody's going to expect you to be carrying a gun in it because you're going to put your wallet or keys in it, your phone, So X Item 1 says, look at the unused, never opened Bible. Adam, you got me. Guilty as charged. Like I said, I was in a Catholic school from grades 7 through 12. And so I was 11 when I got this, just about the time that my parents sent me off to the Catholic school. So we did have daily mass and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm guilty. I actually do have another small Bible for travel. It's a little like weatherproof one you can take for camping and trips and stuff. It's got water resistant pages. It's got a camouflage cover on it, believe it or not.
Yeah, mine does too.
The little one, it's made.
They gave them out overseas.
Yeah. This one's like they make. There's a company that makes them for each branch of the armed forces. It's got their colors. So I've got the Air Force like light tan, light green camo one that I bought just because I wanted something for when I travel. I could throw it in a bag if I want to take it with me, and it has nice weather resistant pages. So anyway, I can't believe we're talking Bibles, but anyway, there you go, tactical Bible carry. Yeah. Oh man, what do we have? Kevin Jung says Jesus is the only way to the Father. Mess with someone with that holster. Find your way to God faster than you want.
Amen.
That is a fact.
Oh man. And I mean, I guess that just caught me off guard. Here I'm looking at holsters and it's like Bible cover. I felt dirty considering buying a product like that. It's just like, man, that's just kind of taken advantage of. But still, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So anyway, kind of like those cane swords. My grandpa needs a cane sword. I think that way if he needs to fight people off, he can do that. So anyway, New York Outcast says, I wish they didn't look so bad. Fanny packs work well for a lot of things, hiking, fairgrounds, all kinds of stuff. Look into like North Face and Patagonia. North Face especially, they make some kind of like jogging, walking fanny packs that are a little bit nicer. They have a little bit of padding on them and stuff, and they're a little expensive, but at the same time, they don't look like the old 1990s rap video fanny pack that you'd see, or 80s or 90s, pop video fanny packs that you saw back in the day. I've got just nondescript black one that I would use at times when I would go walk to the gym and back and stuff like that. So, something to consider. So, guys, we're going to call it. I gotta get ready to log into work here soon. So we're going to go ahead and just let you guys go back to sleep. I'm sorry to wake you up and then have to put you back to bed, but that's it for today. So panel, let's let you guys go ahead and put a final plug in. What do you want to say? Squib, we'll start with you.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going back to bed. That's right. Go to McDonald's, get some breakfast, and then go back to bed. So there you go. All right. And Single Shot, anything you want to say before we go?
Well, I released a video last night that YouTube was playing with a little bit. They chopped the last 15 to 20 minutes off of it. That kind of irritated me. It's the first time they've ever done foolishness like that.
Was it because of an upload issue? Did you try to re-upload it to make sure it wasn't a software issue?
No.
They cut a portion out of your video.
Yeah.
They do that? Usually they would
I guess they do, because they
would
did
just take it down.
The one that I did last night.
Was it copyright infringement? Was there music playing in the background at all?
No.
TV on? Anything remote?
No, well, I've
never had a video
boiler going in behind me there, but that was about it.
Wow. Okay, what were you doing and what got cut? Tell us the direction. Was it casting bullets or what?
Working with a new hand load for the 7mm TCU. And I had the gun sitting there on the bench getting ready to fire 2 test loads, and cut it right off.
Weird.
I know the camera was running when I...
Were you at the range?
No, I was down, my range.
No,
downstairs.
maybe they saw the gun in a non-range environment and the algorithm picked up on it or something and it cut it.
I don't know.
Wow.
Irritated me anyway.
If that keeps happening, let me know. Maybe we can press that question off the Clover to find out if there's something new kicking in on gun videos. The only thing I've ever been hit for before is I use royalty-free MP3s, and people have laid claims against the music before, even though I got it from a royalty-free MP3 website made just for that. And I had to just say, okay, remove the music or remove the audio altogether. So a few of my videos, when I had my artsy phase, when I played music in my videos, the music got cut and sometimes it muted the sound for that entire part, which was like 15 or 20 seconds of the whole video. But it's the only way to keep the video up. So the only thing I'm battling right now is just limited or no ads on basically everything I do. So once you get hit on a couple of them, then it just kind of makes it even harder to keep a video monetized. So that's something. But that's a discussion for another time. We don't need to get into that, but that's frustrating. But
anyway,
guys, check out Single Shot's channel. He's always got new great videos up there. Check out Squiblift's channel. You've got all kinds of different reviews that you do, which are awesome, and all kinds of little drink mix videos and stuff like that. So New York Outcast says, put your guns on a display, problem solved. That's right. That is why you should go over to rnldisplays.com, where you can get the finest in furniture for your firearm, the more refined way to display your firearm. So rnldisplays.com, get over there, check it out. You can use discount code TravisP11, if I'm not mistaken, for a percentage off. Was it 10% off, Outcast? I can't remember. So go use that discount code, and I don't get any kickbacks from it. We're just trying to save you guys some money. So anyway, let's give a little shout out to the YouTube side. Let's see who was with us this morning, and then I need to get busy working. So New York Outcast is out there. Kevin Jung is out there. X-Adam1 says, teachers don't work on Saturdays. When you're contracted to do curriculum design work, you do. Gunmetal Guy USA is out there. Let's see. DM Foz is watching. Bwat75 out there. Kendrick 98. Let's see. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. M. Gabriel was the first person to chime in at 4:40 this morning, my time. Jack Curtis is out there. Garage Guy 879 is in the house. Mountain View joining us. Fluffy 10mm Jeep Guy. Two Gun Kitty the Catnip Outlaw in the house. Artisan Tony. Don't forget about my drawing for the Mantis Laser Academy training kit. Go over to my channel. Watch the video. Details are in the description box for you. Rugaru Arms is out there. Good morning, Rugaru. Good to see you too. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that. E-Rock joining in says, hey, good morning, Pew Pew friends. All right, Echo's Reloading Chamber was with us. The Spark Brain was out there also. Like I said, not my usual time. I do apologize for this, but again, it's just something it's a work obligation. It's something I have to do. JH586 in the house. Gizzard Gary's with us. Southpaw RX out there. Southpaw, saw the video. That was awesome. Or no, that was Rupan. That was Rupan RX. My bad. Southpaw, good to have you joining in today. Young Gun 995 in the house. Man, a lot of people watching today. Scott 79 with us. Gizzard Gary, you take care of yourself and you get well, brother. All right, guys. So this has been Caliber Corner, episode number 213, season 4. Thanks for watching. Shout out to SS Pond for all their support over all these years. If you're interested in the tactical stocking, I did a review video on that too. If you want to watch it, you can. It does give you lots of cool options like MOLLE attachments and different places to put your favorite tactical doodads to decorate for the holidays like I did. But that's it. So in the meantime, I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will see you soon. I'm hoping I can be regular time next Saturday. We'll see what happens with the crew that I work with. And otherwise, we'll go early again. So have fun, be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye, guys. See ya.